when you're operating in the lesser of two evils framework, you're always going to have decidedly low expectations of your chosen candidate, and that's perfect when the election is already fraudulent in the first place. So the process. Yes, I said rigging, and don't think for a second, don't you imagine that that's a conspiracy theory, that the U.S. rigs elections. But Guyana, for a second, don't you imagine that that's a conspiracy theory, that the U.S. rigs elections. But between 1946 and 2000, America is documented to have interfered with, tampered with, malignly influenced, or outright rigged at least 88 elections from Europe to Latin America to Asia to Africa. So again, if you think that they'll do this everywhere else, but your so-called democracy is pristine, I would have to ask you why you think so. Why would it be more important to the power structure to control the outcome of an election in, say, Guyana than it would be for them to control the outcome of an election in the United States of America?
Scheme uncovered in Mesa County less than 2 weeks before the election, but not before some ballots are counted. The Secretary of State says at least a dozen mail ballots were stolen, filled out, then mailed back in. Good evening, I'm Mikaela Way.
And I'm Michael Spencer. Your political reporter Sean Boyd is here with more on what is now a criminal investigation. So Sean, how was this discovered?
Through the state's signature verification system. County clerks use election judges and in some cases a machine to compare the signatures on the ballot envelopes to those clerks have on file. When they don't match, voters are notified. 3 of those voters whose ballots were stolen received a notice and alerted the clerk's office to fraud. Another voter contacted the office after learning from the state's ballot tracking system that their ballot had been turned in by someone else. Election officials began comparing signatures and noted some of them appeared to be signed by the same person. They launched an investigation, but not before 3 of the stolen ballots had already been counted. Those ballots cannot be retrieved, and the votes will count, but the 3 voters will receive new ballots.
This shows the resiliency of our process here in Colorado, that if somebody tries to do nefarious things, it will be discovered through our processes.
Mesa County is now working through every envelope that has already been processed to go and double check everything.
County is re-examining every ballot and all other counties she has alerted to this fraud. She wouldn't say if any suspects have been identified or if this may be part of a bigger scheme. And